You want to know why men over 40 are staying single? I'll tell you why. Because society raised women to be wives to careers, not husbands. And now the men who were once overlooked are watching rebellion unfold and choosing peace over chaos. These ain't excuses. These are the raw, unfiltered reasons men are walking away from modern women, and many of them don't plan on looking back. You better watch this all the way through or keep wondering why that good man ain't calling you back.
Um, Society has made everybody a slave to money. That's not a gendered thing. Women have to make money. Men have to make money. The thing that I find odd though is that the way that this dude is stating this is as if women don't also have a necessity to make money. Like, oh, women are they're a wife to their career, not a wife to, like, what are you talking about? You mean working? Everybody has to work. They're not married, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not married to uh corporate America, but they do have to make money. So right off the bat, his premise is already fake. It's already fictitious. Because why do men get to make money but women don't? If women make money, then they're wives to their, to corporate America. But if men make money, then what? They're husbands to women still? That same logic would also have to apply to men because men make money, right? That is just right on his face. You guys already see the hypocrisy. If women are wives to corporate America or wives to their careers, then what are men? Are men not husbands to their careers? Then the answer would be yes, but then you would just justify it and say, but men got to make money. But so do women. So do women. We live in a capitalist society. You have to work if you want to make money, if you want to make a living. Why are you saying society has taught women that? No, society has forced everybody in it to participate in capitalism. You're already picking a fight with the wrong person. It's not women. This is not a woman. If you really cared this much about women like showing up for men, you would be trying to tear down capitalism, not tear down women and try to trick women into believing like, well, I know you need to get money and all, but you really just need to go on and just settle for a man because, society has tricked you somehow. Like what?
Let's set the record straight. This ain't about men being bitter. This ain't about men being weak. This is about men getting wise, men getting structure, and men finally realizing what marriage has turned into and what it costs when you choose a woman who ain't built for submission, peace, or purpose. And if you're one of those women thinking, well, maybe he just can't handle a strong woman, sit tight. You're about to find out he didn't lose interest. He gained clarity. First reason, divorce destroys a man's life. Older men have seen it too many times. Good men getting gutted in court. He loses his house, he loses his pension, his legacy, and she walks away with half his world for bringing nothing but attitude to the table.
Okay. No. No. When women get divorced, I believe their household income drops by like 40, 41, 42%, something like that, if I'm not mistaken, right? Now, that would make sense because a man, was in the house and he was making money or whatever the case may be. Fine. But men's household income only drops by half of that. So around 20%. So how are men losing everything in a marriage when their household income only drops 20%, but a woman's household income drops 40%? Divorce hurts women significantly more than it hurts men. Significantly. Because married women make less money than married men, right? So if a married woman is in a is in a marriage, then she, over a course of time has lost tons of money. When women are married, they lose hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of the marriage, right? Over the course, whatever, however long it is, 5, 10, 15, whatever it is, versus if they were to have stayed single. So women take a financial hit by being married in most cases, on average. Men, conversely, make more money over that same course of time, right? So how can it be that men aren't getting married because divorce favors women? Or I mean, it doesn't even, I mean, he's not even saying it favors women. He's acting like men lose so much in divorce when in reality, they gain so much in marriage. That's the thing that these dudes don't want to talk about. Sir, you wouldn't have had the home that you had to give to her and your fucking kids. You wouldn't have had that home if it wasn't for her, because we know single men don't buy homes. You wouldn't have been making that much money if it wasn't for her, because single men make less money than married men. Right? She wouldn't be making this little bit amount of money had she remained single, because married women make less money than single women. Women with children make significantly less money than women without children. So all of these things are things that the husband is going to have to pay for, or the ex. I'm sorry, really, in reality, again, the problem is with the system, not with the individuals. They got us fighting against one another, right? They got man and woman fighting against one another, whether it be in a divorce or not. But listen, that woman shouldn't be penalized for being married to a man. That woman shouldn't be penalized for having children. So the fight really is against the system if you're a man and you don't, whatever, even if this is your perception, right? That, oh, when women leave, they get half of this and half of it. So your fight is with the system, not with the woman. Their fight is with the system, not with the woman. Women make less money than men during a marriage. Women make less money than men when they have children. So the solution is, well, let's make sure that women who have children and women who are married and women in general get their fair share, get their dues. Right? That way, when you guys get divorced, y'all both, it's no reason for you to give up anything, because you guys are equally yoked financially. More than likely, 70% of women work in marriages. So it ain't like most women, the vast majority of women aren't working. Men should be fighting harder to change the system. But none of this is rooted in that ideal, because what men like him, what they want to do is they want to lie and manipulate women into being in toxic relationships with toxic men, right? They just want the women to lower their standards, let their guards down. That's all this is. Oh, they're so afraid of divorce. That's why he don't want to marry you. Why would he be so afraid of marriage and divorce are two totally different things. Why are you so afraid of marriage? How does that explain being married? Like, I'm not afraid of divorce at all. I know that I'm not going to get divorced as long as I hold up my end of the bargain. I'm good. I'm not worried about it one bit.
Why would any man jump into a legal system designed to reward rebellion and punish masculinity? Reason number 2.
What does that mean? Reward rebellion and punish masculinity. The word salads are crazy. What does that even mean? How does it punish masculinity? Like I said, again, look, I'll show you. Oh, damn, I don't have it up. Never mind. I had a clip. I had a thing. I took it. I don't want to try to find this too long. But anyways, yeah, like I said, when women get divorced, they lose 40% of their income, their household income. When men get divorced, they lose 20% of theirs. Those are the numbers. I don't know what to fucking tell you. It's just this dude. People like him who just repeat this shit. It's just purely fabricated.
There ain't no wives left. Just women with Wi-Fi and wigs. Let's be real. Men aren't seeing helpmeets anymore. They're seeing overweight, masculine, overly opinionated, sexually entitled women with teenage kids and zero submission. You think a 45-year-old man who's built structure wants to babysit dysfunction? No. He's dodging destruction, not avoiding love. Babysit dysfunction? No. Masculine, overly opinionated, sexually entitled. Why would any man?
Sorry, I got to listen to this again. Because the genius in these videos from these men, right, is their wordplay. They just use these very divisive, triggering words that are made to invoke this reaction, elicit reaction from men. Now, mind you, if you listen to the video, he's really trying to convey this message to women. Now, we know that his page is probably 80% male, which I don't, again, because you guys know what I say all the time. You can't choose your mess. You can't choose your audience, you can only choose your message, right? If this is his message, fine, right? He can't choose his audience in this degree. I'm saying if he's doing what's true to him, he can't choose his message. He has to say the things that are true to him. But no woman is going to hear this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no woman is ever going to hear this message on his page, right? So he knows that the language he's using is specifically for to trigger men. Like this tangent right here, this little snippet is all these words are triggering words for men. They're like, hey.
And jump into a legal system designed to reward rebellion and punish masculinity. Reason number 2, there ain't no wives left. Just women with Wi-Fi and wig.
Exact. That right there. There ain't no wives left. Wigs. They love talking about wigs. Let's go.
Let's be real. Men aren't seeing helpmates anymore.
Helpmates.
They're seeing overweight, masculine women, overly opinionated, sexually entitled women with teenage kids and zero submission.
Teenage kids with teenage kids, so baby mamas and zero submission. He just crammed all. I mean, it's a word salad for the ages. Don't get me wrong. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever, right? But all the yeah, brother. Keep talking that talk, brother.
You think a 45-year-old man who's built structure wants to babysit dysfunction?
Built structure? Oh, that has built structure? That doesn't make sense. But I know what he's trying to say, but go ahead.
No. He's dodging destruction, not avoiding love. Reason number 3, peace over problems. Every time. Men are realizing something dangerous to them.
Ain't no way this man is married, by the way. I see a wedding ring. Ain't no way in hell this man is married. Lord God help us. So he's a grifter. Because no woman is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way he's married. I won't say no way. We know the pygmies exist. But I highly doubt he's married to a pygmy.
The modern women, their peace is more valuable than your presence. Why invite drama into a house that's already quiet, clean, and under control? A presence. Why invite drama into something dangerous to the modern women? Their peace is more valuable than your presence.
Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing? You're trying to shame them when you are literally saying the exact same thing about men? This whole video is basically men saying, I choose my peace, even though it's all bullshit. But that's what he's trying to sell us on, is that men are just choosing their peace over women's presence, right? But then when women do it, it's a problem? Wow.
Why invite drama into a house that's already quiet, clean, and under control? A real man doesn't chase chaos just because he's lonely. Reason number 4, most of y'all ain't wives. You're just performing until you get to the altar. Men are waking up to the bait and switch. You cook during the dating phase, smile during engagement, and once the ring landed, you turn into his opposition, not his support. Older men now see it coming from a mile away, and they're choosing out before they get dragged in.
The projection is real. So let's talk about the bait and switch. He said that women are cooking. And by the way, he's acting like that's abusive. Just so we're clear. The thing he mentioned, the bait and switch, is women used to cook and then now they don't. We don't even want to talk about why women will stop cooking for you once you guys get married. Or it won't even be once you're married. But if once you like reach a certain level in your relationship, why she would stop cooking for you. My wife used to cook for me. Right? She cooked for me at a point in time, she cooked all of my meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We used to get into these discussions, and she would be telling me about how like she felt undervalued and not appreciated for what she was doing, because often, basically, I gave her more criticisms than I did, thanks and gratitude. I criticized the food more than I gave her gratitude. Now, if I was like, oh, this is the best. Oh, man, I love it so much. Thank you so much for cooking for me. And then every now and again, I was like, hey, you know what you did the last time you put, you put that extra adobo in it or whatever, like throw a couple more dabs of adobo. She'd be, oh, no problem, babe. Right? But I didn't hit her with the critique sandwich. I didn't tell her how much I appreciated her, hit her with the critique, and then finish it out with how much I love the food or whatever the case may be. Right? I didn't do that. I was being very entitled. She was a stay-at-home mother. She was a stay-at-home wife. I was out providing whatever. So, yeah, you're supposed to be cooking, right? So that's what happened. And my wife stopped cooking for me. And rightfully so. Now we both work. Now it's different, right? But she didn't stop cooking for me at that time, to be fair. But she rarely cooks for me now. And a lot of it is because of that also. It's because we can cook our own fucking meals. Let's just be honest. It's a nice thing. Sometimes I cook for her, sometimes she cooks for me, but we don't look to each other to cook for one another. And I don't have any like problem with her not cooking for me now. But I do remember that. And I do remember those conversations. And so many men that applies to, so many men don't respect and don't appreciate what their women do for them. And then when the woman grows tired of the lack of appreciation and the women change their behavior, then men like him will call that a bait and switch. No. It's cause and effect. Call it what it really is. It's cause and effect.
Reason number 5, masculinity is now considered a threat. We live in a culture where structure, headship, and strength are labeled toxic. So older men ask, why step into a system that demonizes everything you stand for and then expects you to pay for dinner too? Reason number 6.
Masculinity isn't real, but what are you talking about specifically? This is so vague. Masculinity is demonized. What do you mean? What are you talking about? In what way? In what system is demonizing masculinity?
Women compete more than they cooperate.
Projection. See what I'm saying? Just straight just lies. Y'all be the main one. Now, if I did a prompt today, if I did a live today and I said women are more competitive than men, every man just like him that was under this video probably agreeing with this stupid ass shit would be in my live talking about, no, that ain't true. You don't know, you simping, you pandering. But he just said that right now. Women are more competitive. Oh, okay.
I'm going to say it again. Women compete more than they cooperate. Men don't want to debate every decision in their home. They don't want to fight for respect from a woman who thinks submission is oppression. If a woman can't follow,
submission is oppression.
She don't belong in a marriage. She belongs in corporate America, not your house.
If she can follow in corporate America, then she could follow at home, correct?
Reason number 7, the feminized marriage model failed. The happy wife, happy life formula? Yeah, that turned into miserable husband, maxed out credit card, and zero intimacy. Older men are rejecting this emotional dictatorship disguised as a relationship.
Except for the fact that this man is literally up here talking about women need to submit. Women are the ones who need to submit. But happy wife, happy life is the only way to have a healthy, happy relationship if you're a man. I'm not going to even hold you. That's the only way to have a happy relationship. Whatever you give to your wife, right? Whatever respect you give to her, whatever help you give to her, whatever joy you bring in her life, whatever happiness you bring in her life, whatever safety you bring in her life, she will reciprocate it tenfold. You give a woman a drop, she fill up a cup somehow. She give you back a cup. I don't know how they do it. They're a whale of this type of stuff, of positivity, right? Men know that. That's why we want to be married. That's why we want to be in relationships, because we know how much women actually do for us and how good they are for us. I don't care how many men get up here and try to lie and be like this dude. The vast majority of men know it. Even if they don't say it, they know it because our actions prove it, how obsessed we are with women. If women didn't provide that stuff for us, why would we want to be in concert with them? It doesn't make any sense. Why would we want to be in community with them? It makes zero sense. Zero.
Reason number 8, their value finally caught up with their age. Most women peak in attention by 25. Most men peak in value by 45. And now, older men are finally being respected for what they bring, not just what they can buy. They're not desperate. They're discerning.
Who? What women are you talking? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Men peak in attractiveness at 45 to who? To who? What group of people? 20-year-old women don't like 45-year-old men, generally speaking. There are 20-year-old women who date older men, don't get me wrong, but most women don't date older men. Let's just be real. So it's basically just the women that are around your age at 40, 45. That makes sense. They still like you. And the reason why men become more attractive when we get older is because we become more mature. Men don't fully mentally develop until we're fucking 40, 42, 43 years old. And that's attractive to women. Us being mature is attractive to women. Not about the money, right? Us being stable, we become our most stable in our 40s, right? Mentally and economically. It ain't about you being rich and you being a baller and all of that shit, but damn, you finally learned the value of paying your bills on time. Your credit is decent, more than likely. You got some things, you got a car, you got an apartment, you got a house, you got somewhere to live. That's attractive to a woman, yeah. But it took you till you was 40 fucking years old. Women already have that shit when they're in their 20s. They're doing that type of stuff. And they're physically attractive.
Reason number 9. Older men want purpose, not pretty problems. They don't want a fling. They want alignment.
Bullshit.
They're not interested in another Instagram model with attitude.
Bullshit.
They're looking for a wife who builds legacy.
Then why are older men obsessed with 20-something-year-old women and girls? The fuck are you talking about?
Not a woman who wants to match energies. Reason number 10.
So you're admitting that men are all of these things that you're saying women are. Matching energy would imply that men are combative, that men don't listen, that men are the ones that's what you're admitting. You don't want women, you just don't want women to push back against men. But you're calling it matching energies, right? So he's literally saying, he's literally admitting right now that women, that he's just projecting everything that he's saying about women. It's actually, he knows these things to be true about men. That's what he's saying, right? I don't understand how else to interpret that.
High standards or no standards at all. Older men don't need company. They need cooperation. And if a woman can't match his vision, values, and order, he'd rather keep his house clean, his spirit quiet, and his wallet closed. Reason number 11. He's experienced more peace without a woman. I'm going to say that again. Older men have experienced more peace without a woman. This one hurts, but it's real. Most men
real fake
have experienced more peace being single than they ever had in a relationship. No drama, no arguing.
They create, but here, the thing he's not saying is, damn, I got some men create the drama in their relationships. So what that's a moot point. Okay, it was a lot of drama in your relationship, but you were the drama. What the fuck?
No ego wars. And once a man takes that kind of quiet, he stopped chasing noise. Reason number 12. Wisdom comes with wrinkles. Older men ain't simping anymore. They've been through it. Lied to, used, manipulated. Now they don't waste time. They test first, trust later, and never negotiate headship again. Reason number 13. The dancing monkey phase is over. He used to dress up, say the right things, and play Mr. Romantic just to impress a woman who wasn't even a wife. Not anymore. Now he leads. And if she can't follow, he exits. No performance, just purpose. Reason 14. The dating pool is spiritual poison. Tinder, Instagram, DMs, fake femininity, softcore porn disguised as selfies. Older men are done swimming in this cesspool and calling it dating.
This dude trying to act like men are the moral authority in society is hilarious. Hilarious. Disgusting as well, but definitely funny. Like, get the fuck out of here. Those are all the things men love. Shut the fuck. Just the opposite of the truth. whatever, if women are taking, if women do OF, it's because men like it. Like because men are the market. So women do OF because there's a marketplace for it. Why is there a marketplace for it? I mean, and who is the market? Who makes up the vast majority of the marketplace? Men. Women post twerk videos and women dress up as Insta baddies and shit like that because there's a marketplace for that. Who is the market? Men. So trying to turn around and say men don't want that shit, it's just a lie. It's a lie on his face. It's a lie.
Looking for a suitable wife, not clicks, submission, not selfies. Reason number 15, loss of sex drive, or they just avoiding intimacy altogether.
ED. That's what he's talking. Loss of sex drive. ED.
Together. Some men stay single because they lost the desire for sex.
Some men stay single because they have ED. Yeah.
See no use for it anymore. And while that might seem like peace on the surface, let's call it what it is. It's spiritual decay disguised as maturity. If a man is no longer interested in physical intimacy with his wife, he's not healthy. He's disconnected from purpose. Sex within a marriage isn't just pleasure. It's covenantal reinforcement. So while this may be a reason, it's also a warning. You might want to go get that fixed. Reason 16, desire for freedom without accountability. Let's not lie. Some men want freedom, not structure. They don't want to lead a wife, raise children, or build anything that requires discipline. And while
sir, if you're 45, you shouldn't be looking to do any of those things. What the fuck are you talking about? Building at 45 is crazy. Your building years are over. You're just looking for somebody to grow old with at this point. And that's okay. I don't knock it. I'm saying that's fine, but you ain't building shit. Why are you building something at 45? Having kids at 45? Why? Your swimmers are geriatric. It's a high-risk pregnancy because of your sperm. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is idiotic.
While it may feel logical to avoid responsibility, in my book, that's rebellion from your divine purpose. Freedom without leadership is chaos. And if you're running from being the head of a household, you're not avoiding bondage. You're avoiding maturity. Reason number 17, fear of emotional vulnerability. A lot of men avoid relationships not because of bad women, but because they don't want to feel, reveal, or heal. They've been hurt, so they just stay.
Nope, they haven't been hurt.
Cold.
Well, they've been hurt by other men, but not by women.
A man who can't lead emotionally will either become a tyrant or a coward. You don't escape betrayal by
They're both
shutting down. You escape by building with discernment. Reason number 18, and this is actually the final reason. Thanks for watching. Make sure y'all like this video. Reason number 18, some just don't want to lead at all. And let's be brutally honest. Some older men aren't staying single because of women. No, they're staying single because they're lazy, disobedient, and refuse to carry weight. They're weak, not wise.
When he started off this video, he was talking to women. Now at the end, he's talking to men. Okay.
They're passive, not peaceful. And they'll blame the culture while secretly knowing they're avoiding their calling. All right, here's my final thoughts on this. Because I actually asked a lot of guys, I sat down with a lot of guys, talked to them over live virtual calls. And I just was gathering data and gathering, information to try to put together some type of solution.
You were listening to a bunch of niggas lie to you. And here you are regurgitating that stupid shit.
Or a video that you're watching right now. So here's the problem. A lot of these reasons are logical, but that doesn't mean they're righteous. Yes, the dating market is trash. Yes, most modern
men made it trash. If the dating market is trash, it's because men are trash.
Women aren't wives. Yes, marriage today is a battlefield, but none of that justifies abandoning the assignment. A man who knows his role doesn't run from it. He just becomes more selective about who he qualifies for his leadership. He doesn't stop being a husband. He just refused to marry a woman who ain't a wife. And here go my last thoughts. So, to the older man, if you're an older man watching this, the message ain't to stay single forever. It's to stay single until you find structure, submission, and sanctification. Most of y'all in America. Most of y'all in the United States. Most of y'all right here. And that may be your problem. I hear a lot of men saying,
passport, bro, avocation.
That traveling abroad is an alternative
abroad
option to finding a suitable wife. Fellas, If you have experience with women overseas, let us know down in the comments.
Yuck. Oh man, this dude is such a fucking grifter. Yeah, man, these are the men that the men be listening to. They afraid to come over here and get the good work, get the good word put up, put up in their ears and in their minds. They'll rather hear this shit. They'll rather hear these women aren't wives and masculinity is under attack and femininity runs the world now, and all of these fucking incel talking points that they literally just stole from men's rights activist groups and shit in the darkest corners of 4chan and Facebook men's help groups and shit. Shit is disgusting, dude. You guys are cowards, man. Y'all don't want to be better at all. I'm sorry. It's terrible.